I've been super excited about Waymo for a while, and I think we are really hitting our stride in the past 12 months or so. We've obviously been very, very safety focused. So the way we approach it is we want to build a very safe and reliable Waymo driver, and once we do that, we can really scale up from there. We've definitely shown the progress there. Thanks to the work with AI we have done over the years. We now have over 33 million rider miles driven, and Waymo has had 78% fewer injury-causing crashes compared to human drivers, right? And so now the progress is clearly there. Last year, Waymo, I think we served over 4 million passenger trips, and we are now averaging over 150,000 paid rides per week in the US across San Francisco, Phoenix, and LA. So I think the first time any AV company has reached this kind of scale. And we are now expanding. We have a goal of doing this in 10 new cities in 2025. We'll be doing our first international testing in Japan. And so we do want to work with other innovative countries like you all, and that's the roadmap now we are putting in place. But we are at an exciting juncture, and I think the technology is working. And as you rightly pointed out, we have to scale it up by partnering with regulators in countries around the world.
Nvidia will release its fiscal 2025 financial results, which concluded on January 31st on February 26th. The corporation anticipates a total revenue of $128.6 billion, a staggering 112% growth over the previous year. Thanks to rising GPU sales, recent quarterly statistics indicate that its data center business will account for about 88% of that revenue. In its current fiscal year 2026, Nvidia may break yet another record with a projected total sales of $196 billion, according to Wall Street's consensus projection. It is understandable why investors are concerned about the DeepSeek announcement, as reaching that estimate will depend on further demand for GPUs from AI developers. Nvidia's most recent GB200 GPU, which is built on its Blackwell architecture, can execute AI inference up to 30 times faster than the H100, despite the H100 still being a popular product. An AI model uses inference to generate an output for the user after absorbing real-time data, such as a chatbot question. More on this in a moment. It usually follows the first training period. When the GB200 began shipping to clients at the end of 2024, demand was greatly exceeding supply, making it the current gold standard for AI data centers. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, so if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video.
Start creating these jobs that will make the commute more appealing for us. Do you think that new platforms are going to emerge from these kind of services? Do you have any ideas of what's going to happen?
Maybe two observations, right? I think one is, I think there was a recent study by MIT economist David Autor, which said, if you go back to 1940, since then, 60% of the new jobs that have been created kind of didn't exist before that, right? And so there's this constant evolution we go through. Just imagine, even 5 years after the internet started in the year 2000, envisioning that there could be someone called a YouTube creator. Today, there are millions of creators, and they're real small businesses, right? And they generate value, they employ other people, and so on. So we have to keep that potential in mind. To me, there is no doubt in an AI-driven world, just like the internet did, there'll be many, many new opportunities created. And I think over time, there'll be value and a premium placed on human experiences and human interactions, right? I think if anything, the prevalence of AI would place even more a premium on human experiences.
On February 4th, Pichai spoke with Wall Street analysts via conference call on Alphabet's fourth quarter 2024 results. He responded to one of their inquiries by stating that for the past 3 years, there has been a noticeable change in the distribution of processing power, with an increasing proportion going toward inference as opposed to training. According to Pichai, this change will only be accelerated by more recent reasoning models, such as Alphabet's Flash Thinking and DeepSeek's R1. These models need a lot more processing power than their predecessors since they take longer to think through a response. Test time scaling is the technical word for this technique, which allows AI models to produce more accurate results without requiring additional pre-trailing scaling, which entails continuously feeding models fresh data. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta Platforms, shares these views. He previously stated that developers won't necessarily want fewer chips if training workloads decrease because capacity is just moving toward inference. Lastly, Alphabet informed Wall Street that it intends to spend $75 billion on capital expenditures, CapEx, in 2025, with processors and data center infrastructure accounting for the majority of this amount. The corporation is definitely not cutting back, as that amount is a substantial rise above its $52 billion in 2024 capital expenditures. Overall, it seems that there is still a strong demand for Nvidia's GPUs. The recent decline may even present a purchasing opportunity, given that its stock is currently trading at an appealing value. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now, let's dive into today's video.
What can we do about deepfakes? Because, I think you face this more than anyone. You are a famous person that has a lot of video content online. Is there anything we can do about that?
Look, I think we are definitely developing technology, and we are open sourcing it. We call it SynthID. And so we are watermarking image generation. And we are also open sourcing the tools to detect it. We need to work with other companies to create a standard around it. But over time, I think broadly we want to encourage AI innovation, but there'll be areas where regulation makes sense. Like today in the financial world, you have laws against fraud, right? So you're going to need equivalents of that, in the AI world, and something like deepfakes would need to be tackled that way.
Let's assume that you, and I try to ask this question to everyone that I meet. Let's assume that you woke up tomorrow in my body and you were the Minister of AI. What decisions would you take that are currently not being thought of? Like, what is one thing that you're going to focus on that you think will have the biggest value for a company like the UAE or any country in the world?
Beyond, I would re-emphasize, the four areas I would focus on is supporting infrastructure, right? I think most people are underestimating the infrastructure transition. I think UAE has been at the forefront because it's not just compute data centers, it's energy transition, which obviously, you've been at the forefront on. Skilling obviously is another important area. I think the amount of work that needs to be done to help your population get ready and transition, I think it is something there needs to be a lot of effort put into it. I think that much tougher challenge has been encouraging governments to unlock data, right? And how can governments better utilize and share data to improve public services, like healthcare, education, transportation, disaster response. So I think being at the forefront of that, I think is a real opportunity. So that is something I would think about. And then finally, how do you have balanced regulation, which is pro-innovation, but for high-risk applications, how do you think about responsible regulation? All of that needs to be in the toolkit. Is what I would emphasize on. But above all, I would say being excited at this moment, embracing innovation, because it is something that's coming at us in a fast way, is going to be very, very important.
Sundar, thank you very much.
The stock of Nvidia is currently down 12% from its peak, after China-based startup DeepSeek claimed to have trained a competitive artificial intelligence AI model with a quarter of the processing power used by top US-based companies like OpenAI. It saw a steep sell-off in January. Nvidia's high-end graphics processing units, GPUs, the best hardware available for creating AI models, saw a significant decline in demand as a result of investors' concerns that other AI developers would copy DeepSeek's methods. But perhaps those worries were exaggerated. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, is a major purchaser of Nvidia's AI data center chips. On February 4th, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Alphabet, made some remarks that should reassure Nvidia's investors. High Flyer, a prosperous Chinese hedge fund that has been utilizing AI to develop trading algorithms for years, founded DeepSeek in 2023. The IT industry was buzzing when DeepSeek launched its V3 large language model, LLM, in December 2024, and its R1 reasoning model in January. They were competitive with some of the newest models from OpenAI and other startups. Since DeepSeek's work is open source, certain crucial information was rapidly discovered by the industry. According to SemiAnalysis, the startup claims to have trained V3 for just $5.6 million, excluding an estimated $500 million in chips and infrastructure. This is much less than the tens of billions of dollars that companies like OpenAI have spent to get to this point in their development. In order to preserve American dominance in AI, the U.S. government prohibited Nvidia from selling its newest hardware to Chinese companies. Therefore, DeepSeek also made use of earlier models of the company's GPUs, such as the H100. As it turns out, DeepSeek compensated for its lack of processing power by implementing some novel software advancements. In addition to creating extremely effective algorithms and data entry strategies, it also employed a process known as distillation, which is taking the insights from a large AI model that has already achieved success to train a smaller model. Indeed, DeepSeek has been accused by OpenAI of training DeepSeek R1 by employing its GPT-4o models, which caused the ChatGPT chatbot to learn from its outputs at scale. Because distillation eliminates the need for the developer to gather and evaluate mounds of data, it quickly speeds up the training process. It consequently uses a lot less processing power, which translates into fewer GPUs. Investors are understandably concerned that the market for Nvidia's processors might plummet if every other AI developer followed suit. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.